Hi TLA STEM colleagues. Time for show and tell with my favorite device here in our STEM lab, which is the Apple TV. So why do I love Apple TV? Well, I can turn on the camera and whatever shows up on the camera also shows up on the Promethean board. So I can walk over to a specific activity that someone is doing and everyone can see that. The kids love to see themselves on the big screen. So specifically, if it's a really good example of something that's been really fun, the kids enjoy doing, at the end of class as a reward, I will show the highlights of whatever it is we did up there on the big TV. This also comes in really handy when there's a particularly small activity going on over at someone's table and we need to zoom in. Again, this works with any Apple product that has AirPlay option. And not only does it show live video, but it shows pictures. So here's a picture I just took of a 4th grade activity that we did. And then I can show the highlights of it up on the big screen so the kids can relive what they did from a different perspective. I can film the activity and then show that on this big screen while I'm getting things set up for the activity. So it's essentially, it's like having two of yourself and you can double what you need to get done in the classroom. Here's an example of what we did with a drone and a camera with the ASP program that let us borrow that. I can zoom in and it zooms on the big screen as well to focus on certain people. Kids love to see themselves on the big TV. To turn it off, you just simply swipe up, AirPlay, and then go back to iPad, and it goes back. And again, we're not using the Wi-Fi. It does need to have the Wi-Fi turned on and the Bluetooth turned on. That's just to identify itself to the device. And when you switch devices, it'll give you a code, a little 4-digit code to put in, just so it knows which one to listen to. But essentially, if you have a class set of iPads, every one of them could individually be connected to the big screen so kids can share. It's the end of the school year, so everything's a mess. I apologize for the dust here. This is an older model Apple TV. I'm not sure which exact year, so I need to find out. I've had this for 3 years now. And the way it works is it hooks up. I keep the remote taped right on top because to turn it on, you just push the button and bloop, and the white light turns on there. In order to connect this Apple TV to the Room Pro, you need what's called a VGA adapter. And this thing's expensive. It's like 60 bucks. I went the cheaper route, found one online for 20, and it just didn't work very well. This one, it's worth the money. And here's an example of what it looks like. It's an HDMI to VGA adapter, obviously. And then all you do is you just run that through the cable. It's got both the video and the audio, and that hooks up to your Room Pro or any other kind of projector. Once you've turned it on, you just come over here to the cable it's hooked up to and push the button there. And then usually, not connected to the network. Let's see what's happening. So funny thing about Apple TV is it does not need to be connected to the network. When I first got it, our tech guy was like, yeah, you can't put that on the Wi-Fi because of the security, whatever, and that's okay. And all you need to do is turn it on and then come over here to your Apple device. I use my iPhone a lot, or in this case, the school's iPad, and you look for a little button here called AirPlay, and then Apple TV, and mirroring, make sure mirroring's turned on, and then boom, there it is up on the big screen. I just remembered my probably favorite reason for having Apple TV, and that is because with each new class, I get to share what the previous class best. I just remembered my probably favorite reason for having Apple TV. And that is I get to share with each new class the previous class's success, and that takes the new class to a newer, higher level each time. Reminds me of the quote of Isaac Newton, if I can see far, it's because I'm standing on the shoulders of giants. We get to grow from our own experiences, and each new class just takes it to new heights from being able to see successful examples of the previous class's activities. Just while we're on the subject of sharing, the Apple TV, along the lines of that, I like to use AirDrop. Love AirDrop. AirDrop allows you to send video or pictures directly from one iPad to the other very quickly and easily. And that helps out when I have multiple iPads. I have the students send me their highlights or their best of what they did so I can put them all on one iPad and then make an iMovie from there. An example of how to use AirDrop: if I'm ready to share something, I just come up here to the share icon, and then it just automatically, because my iPhone is turned on with the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth, it just identifies me there, and I just touch it, and then my phone is now asking, do you want to accept? And I'll say accept, and now I have. So now I have that picture in my phone. I just remembered my probably favorite reason for having Apple TV, and that is I get to share with each new class the previous class's success, and that takes the new class to a newer, higher level each time. Reminds me of the quote of Isaac Newton, if I can see far, it's because I'm standing on the shoulders of giants. We get to grow from our own experiences, and each new class just takes it to new heights from being able to see successful examples of the previous class's activities.